Bugs. Creepy, crawly, and absolutely essential to life on Earth. Most people try to avoid them, but I've always done the opposite. My name is Jason Miller, naturalist and professional bug nerd. My mission is to inspire curiosity about the most underappreciated and misunderstood animals on the planet, and inspire action to preserve and protect them. We may not always love bugs, but we definitely need them. Want to know how? Then let's get bugging. Ant colonies are astounding for about 1,000 different reasons. Take for example the fact that I'm about 1 billion times their size, but if I pose a threat to them in any way, they won't hesitate to climb onto my hand to bite and sting me. If they were defending themselves, it would make much more sense to just escape into their tunnels and live another day. But they're not defending themselves. They're defending the queen and her hive. This level of altruism is one of the reasons that ants have become one of the most successful animals on the planet. They are genetically predisposed to put their colony's health before their own. If you were to fit every animal onto a giant scale, they would be very upset. But also, 20% of the total mass would just be ants. Across 12,000 different species, it's estimated that there are between 1 and 10 quadrillion ants on planet Earth. When an animal is this populous, it's usually because they're doing something right. In the case of ants, it's teamwork. Ants, along with bees, wasps, and termites, are known as eusocial insects. Eusociality is the highest level of social organization found in the animal kingdom. It's defined by 3 things: division of labor into reproductive and non-reproductive groups, cooperative brood care, and overlapping generations. Take honeybees, for example. Every colony consists of 1 reproductive female, the queen, multiple males, called drones, and many non-reproductive females, the workers. The queen's job is simple: grow the colony by laying as many eggs as possible during her 1 to 4 year lifespan. The drone's job is even easier. All he has to do is fly off, impregnate a new queen, and die almost immediately after. All the rest of the responsibility falls on the workers, who are all sterile females that make up the rest of the hive. Younger honeybees spend most of their time inside the hive, feeding larvae and cleaning the honeycomb cells, while older honeybees spend most of their time out foraging for nectar and pollen to bring back to the hive. Even though honeybees are one of the most eusocial animals on the planet, there are many species of bees, wasps, and hornets that are completely solitary. Like mutilid wasps, a family of wingless wasps that only ever meet with other members of their species when it's time to breed. The family Mutilidae are commonly called velvet ants, which is pretty dumb because, like I said, they're wasps, not ants. These are red harvester ants, and like all ants, they're 100% eusocial. Ant farms like this offer a small window into what life is like inside the colony. They're constantly foraging for food, digging tunnels, and communicating with each other using those sensitive antennae. But this isn't really an ant farm. It's 2 pieces of plastic filled with a dozen or so worker ants who are digging tunnels to nowhere for a queen that isn't around. To see a real ant farm, we have to travel to Central America. But, you know, pandemic. Luckily, I happen to live an hour down the road from the Museum of Science in Boston, and they have a few thousand friends there that I'd like to meet. The residents of this incredible colony are leafcutter ants, the greatest farmers in the animal kingdom. They aren't farming the leaves. They're not even eating the leaves. The diet of these ants is fungus, and the leaves that they're carrying into the nest are food for this fungus. Workers form massive conveyor lines across the forest floor, chewing off chunks of vegetation from plants and carrying them back into the nest, where a different cast of workers process and deliver it to the fungus growing beneath the ground. These workers also meticulously clean the fungus to keep it free from bacteria and mold. In turn, the fungus grows fruiting bodies that are collected and fed to the colony. The ants can't survive without the fungus, and the fungus can't survive without the ants. It's fully domesticated, unable to grow or reproduce without the help of its 6-legged caretakers. This mutualistic relationship has existed for over 15 million years. Compare that to humans, who began cultivating crops a mere 10,000 years ago. Leafcutter ants, tiny as they may be, have created a complex agricultural system that's been in place for longer than our species has even existed. Ants are so complex and diverse that we could talk about them for hours and barely scratch the surface. But I've been told not to make these videos several hours long. Plus, termite be another organism that requires our attention. Termites have a lot in common with ants. They're entirely eusocial, they're excellent builders, and they divide labor into multiple different castes. They even look a bit like ants. Incredibly though, ants and termites belong to entirely different orders of insect. Ants are members of the orders Hymenoptera, along with bees and wasps, while termites are members of the order Blattodea, the order that also includes cockroaches. Aside from a few 100 million years of evolutionary separation, the biggest difference between ants and termites is that while ants tend to build down, some termite species also build up. Like, way up. These beautiful and bizarre-looking skyscrapers were created by mound-building termites. They're found in the savannas of Africa, South America, and Australia. Worker termites build the mounds by mixing dirt and water in their jaws, creating a sort of cement, then construct the tower one mouthful at a time, more efficiently than any human construction crew could dream of. You might expect the inside of this tower to be swarming with termites, but they're actually living in a massive underground network of tunnels beneath the surface. The tower itself acts more as an air conditioning system, filled with chambers and vents that are designed to maintain the levels of humidity and temperature that termites need to survive, while also recycling the air within the nest to keep it from becoming stale. For all of their tireless work ethic, termites are surprisingly delicate insects, with soft bodies that are very vulnerable to dehydration. No matter how arid the outside environment of the nest is, the humidity within the colony stays incredibly high. This is accomplished by workers collecting water from deep beneath the ground and bringing it up to the nest chambers. A single termite colony is able to move several tons of water and up to a quarter ton of soil in just 1 year. Using these two simple ingredients, termites are able to construct skyscrapers, tunnel systems, and ventilation shafts that put even the most state-of-the-art human structures to shame. There's still a lot we need to learn about how termites with brains the size of pinheads are able to create such complex structures by working together. But what we do know for sure is that they're an essential part of the ecosystems where they live. By bringing groundwater to the surface and decomposing vegetation, the soil surrounding a termite mound is incredibly fertile and provides an oasis for the plants and animals living in the savanna. Termites, along with other detritivores, break down dead organic material and return the nutrients to the rest of the ecosystem. But we'll talk about that next time. Until then, I've been Jason, and we've been Buggin.